What is the Jewish claim to the land of Israel? When talking about the conflict that's going on since October 7th, there's been a lot of discussion as to what the premise of Jewish claim to the land of Israel actually is. And there's various people that take various perspectives. Some try to make an indigenous peoples argument. There are other sorts of arguments, an international law argument, a biblical argument. There's all sorts of different perspectives. Check out this perspective that's shared with Ben Shapiro in this clip from a student that asks him what exactly is the Jewish claim to the land of Israel to begin with. And he asks specifically in the sort of indigenous claim. Take a look.
Hi, Ben. While I agree with everything you said today, there are those who make the argument that while Israel may have historical biblical precedent, it is not justification to give it back. For instance, the Muslims control Istanbul, which used to be Constantinople, but the Christians are up in arms about the Hagia Sophia, basically about being defaced by Islam. So what would be your response to that, and how are they not equivalent? And what would you say to somebody who would give that argument?
So the argument about the Jews' historical connection to the land is an argument against another argument. The argument that I'm making is that it is not colonization for Jews to populate an area they've always had a population in. Okay, but if you're asking the more general question, which is what gives you a right to ownership of land, then obviously I'm not sure that historical ownership of land is the rationale, meaning that I don't think anybody in Florida is willing to go back to the original Seminole tribes just to give the entire land of Florida back to those tribes. Right? The history of the world is a history of colonization and a history of population movements. And so the baseline notion that every piece of land must be given back to its quote-unquote original owners, I mean, biblically speaking, you'd have to go back to try to find descendants of the Canaanite tribes, for example, if you were talking about the land of Israel. So the argument that I'm making is more of a responsive argument, which is that when people claim that Israel is a sort of Western interloper in Israel and that it was just placed there arbitrarily, that's a lie. That's the part I'm saying is not true. As far as whether that means that the United States is fundamentally illegitimate because the original inhabitants of the United States were Native American, no, I disagree with that argument as well. I don't think the United States is fundamentally illegitimate just because the United States and its original European colonizers and inhabitants happened to win the colonization wars. I mean, that's what they are, by the way. They're colonization wars because Indian tribes were colonizing each other, Native American tribes were colonizing each other as well. Again, that's the entire story of human history.
What do you think about that, everybody? So love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to hit that subscribe button over there to stay in touch with us for more content, we'd love to hear from you soon. Take care.